Chest up, shoulders back. This is Revival Fitness, your home for gains and brains. And you've heard me talk a lot about ab anxiety. That is basically the concept I define as always worrying, whether it is a minor fear and it can really spiral into a major fear to the point that it affects your daily life, of not being lean enough. And I have a video coming out very soon, a small case study of somebody that I am talking to right now. But on that note, I was recently sent this reel from Instagram, and it's going to blow up a lot of preconceived notions that you may have on this topic. So this is from austin.mfit, and this has over 13 million views. I've been lifting weights 4 to 6 times a week for the last 11 years with no breaks. Has our perception of fitness been distorted? Then he says, has your perception of yourself been distorted? In a lot of cases, that is definitely true. So of course we're going to dive into the radioactive, toxic cesspool of a comment section, and that's basically every single comment section, not only on social media, but especially Instagram. I don't know what it is about Instagram in particular, but my god, it is dregs of society on every single reel. Pretty clearly built, right? I mean, in terms of body fat, he's looking probably at least 20%-ish. Maybe around that range. I'd say probably a bit higher than that. And this happens to me as well. It's only guys complaining, bro, shave the chest hair. What is that rug? No woman ever complains about that. It's only the dudes. But I know you guys are hyper-masculine, stoic alpha males. Then you can see part of his back here too. He's got a clear split in the middle of his back. You can see that he has muscles built on both sides. So before we go into the comment section, what do you guys think that the comments are going to be largely? And regardless of what you think about this guy's body, one thing is very clear, and that is his skin. His skin looks fantastic. He probably uses the partner of today's video, Geology. Geology makes looking good easy. They have simple and effective skincare and hair care routines customized just for you with very simple ingredients that are proven to work. Backed by dermatologists and over 10,000 5-star reviews. Geology is a 38-time award-winning company recognized in Men's Health, Hypebeast, Birdie, Esquire, Ask Men, and Oprah's Daily Grooming Awards. Have you ever seen your girlfriend's bathroom and the mountain of products she has, and your head starts spinning? The ladies know very well the importance of a proper skin and hair care routine, but so many guys don't, and even if they want to, they are daunted by all of the possibilities. Thankfully, Geology takes all of the guesswork out of the equation. Simply start with a 60-second quiz on their site, enter the information, tell them about your skin goals, and they will develop a dermatologist-grade, personalized routine and deliver it right to your door. I really like the salicylic acid face wash. This is great to apply right after you're done at the gym training. You can really prevent breakouts that way. The morning face cream with SPF 15 hydrates and protects the skin. There is retinol night cream. This boosts cell turnover to reduce wrinkles and fine lines. And I really like the eye cream. This targets dark circles and puffiness. It brightens the under eyes and keeps you looking refreshed even if you are tired. Every Geology product includes clear instructions on application, and you also will receive information on how much and the best times to use each product in the order in which you should use them for best results. And they are not greasy or runny or sticky. They're incredibly easy to apply, they don't make a mess, and they make the entire process of skincare easy to adhere to, and really, you're going to want to stick to it. So what are you waiting for? Use my link and code found in the description box down below and pinned comment. You can grab 70% off of your personalized skincare trial set. You also are going to get 50% off any add-ons waiting for you as well. Okay, put on your hazmat suits, it's time to go to the comments. Risky Fitness, oh, there's the guy who was the subject of the previous video, 14 years. He says bros built something special. Risky's a positive type of dude. Sam Squats, who is a woman, says, NGL, this is what women wants. Scooby says they don't want a man who actually puts in the work. Oh, for God's sake, you guys are so painful. Alright, Scooby, what do you look like? Oh, look at that. What are you, 13, bro? Your arms are even smaller than 13? You got, what is this, Call of Duty gameplay? This is out of control. You guys are so brain-rotted and so insecure with this. Then someone replies to Scooby and says, huh? Yeah, exactly. Scooby says, it's not like you didn't hear me clearly, the words are right there to read. Then someone says, Scooby, dude, you're a little twink talking about putting in the work. Takes a lot of effing work to look like this. To some extent, absolutely it does. And some people just love to have a sustainable diet instead of constantly being in a deficit, feeling weak all day long. You've never stepped foot in a gym, let alone judging someone's work for it. Ooh. Your Pink CEO says, proof that you can never outwork a bad diet. This has 33,000 likes. Someone says, I don't think a bad diet could make these gains, it's just normal lighting and he is not posing. Even the level of body fat this guy's at, this is not innately unhealthy. I still see comments pretty routinely. They'll be like, oh bro, getting over 20% body fat's so bad for your health and, oh, you're gonna have all these health marker problems. Are you sure? I have no reason to believe or even really suspect that just being roughly 20%-ish body fat is that dangerous. Now, if you're going to push like high 20s up to 30 or so, then you could make a point. But having muscle mass, especially and being 20-ish% body fat, there's no real problems there. Your Pink CEO then says he said he isn't bulking. Well, you better bulk, bro. Come on. Underneath that, someone says, low carb and high protein, he would be lean AF. I mean, sure. I don't think he's necessarily concerned with that, though. Someone says, that's what a healthy physique looks like, buddy. That 2% body fat type isn't as healthy as you think. Well, 2%, I get what he's saying. He's exaggerating, but 2% body fat, you would pretty much be dead. He is categories far from what you call 2% body fat. Well, sure. His physique is so mid, oh, here we go, for someone who never missed a workout for the last decade. Okay, Pink CEO, we're gonna have to click on your profile. Tread lightly. Now, someone says to Pink CEO, bro, what, coming from someone whose page has desserts all over it? You are the last person to give an opinion. Let's see your build. Alright, well, we're about to. Let's see what Pink CEO says in response. Me having desserts or eating desserts doesn't cancel the fact that I'm jacked. If you lift weights, you'd know, but I bet you don't. Also, I'm not hating on this creator. He did put his physique on the internet, and I just respectfully gave my opinion. It doesn't always have to be pink and dreams and compliments. But your name is Your Pink CEO, so there is pink. That is true, though. I'm not somebody that is always fake positive all the time, so I can relate, at least on that point. Someone said, you're not jacked, you're wrong form of you're twice, in one sentence, daily double. You're literally a weirdo on the internet who's trying to pretend to be a male but has your nails painted in videos. Then Pink CEO says pretends to be a male? What a pathetic assumption. I don't know where this is going. Okay, based on these comments, there is no physique from Pink CEO. Let's see. 18.3 thousand followers, okay, so they must make some regular content. Okay, it looks like a cooking meme. Okay, we have a keyboard. We've got more issues than Vogue. There's a beach. There's measuring tape. There's a sandwich. There's an orange tree. Okay, so this person has nothing posted of themselves. Truly, like, you can't write this stuff better. I mean, this is the best part about the internet. These type of people, when they talk like this and someone will say, well, show your physique, they'll say, oh, well, I don't upload my physique to the internet. Okay, but if you were as impressive looking as you claim, you would. Even if it's only a couple photos. Like, dude, nobody gets a really impressive physique and just never shows it at all. Even if you're at the beach or a general candid photo, you're going to post it on social media eventually in some form. Like this idea that there's all these jacked people in the comment sections, but oh, I don't post my physique. You all are so full of shit. I will say though, a lot of y'all right now have way too many Instagram accounts. I see some of you, even dudes now. For the girls, okay, right? They have their main page, and then the Finsta, and then the fitness account, and then the account for their pets. Some of you dudes have the same shit.
Stop it. Get some help.
Julian Swag says, this is the shape of people who go to the gym and don't eat like they're living in World War II conditions. Oh, this is going to be controversial. 76,000 likes. Paulo says, WW2 conditions and eating healthy ain't the same thing, brother. Interesting assumption here, the fact that he doesn't eat so-called healthy. Whatever that means, because depending on who you talk to, that has very different definitions. But you can eat so-called healthy food and be around his body fat. Now someone says there's nothing healthy about eating only unseasoned beef, chicken, and rice, and maybe some fruit, psychologically and physically. So Vanilla here is drawing the common line that people do whenever you eat so-called clean all the time. They will basically equate it to an eating disorder. I mean, I do this myself, right? You have your regimented meals all during the day. People look at that and they're like, oh, how could you do that? It's too restrictive. Have you guys ever wondered for yourself, why do bodybuilders eat the same thing all day, every day? Chicken rice, or maybe it's a little fancier and it's tilapia and sweet potato. Even myself, right? Ground beef yogurt, all this stuff all day. It makes it easy, man. If you want a much different body composition than you have now, or to really improve on it, build a lot of muscle, long-term lose a lot of fat too, you're gonna have to really streamline your diet. I'm gonna have to make a full video about this, guys, because I talk to dudes every day still, and you guys really half-ass your nutrition. Okay, oh, I track protein, bro. What about carbs and fats and all this other stuff? Oh, well, I just kind of guess, or I think I get... You have no idea. Unless you're genetically elite, you have to be in control of your diet pretty much all the time. I know a lot of you guys want to get to low teens or even sub 10% body fat at some point, get really cut up abs. You are never going to do it eating the way you eat right now. Never. You have no chance. Check out my nutrition guide down below if you want to get a lot of information now regarding these topics. But I'm not trying to be a doomer, okay? But that's reality. Oh, speaking of, we go down to vanilla. Yeah, but those kinds of gym bros have a legitimate eating disorder. Their rocky relationship with food means that the second they enjoy it, they'll overindulge, and therefore lost the dehydrated, muscly look they've got. I mean, we're kind of jumping all over the map here with this. Again, I don't agree with the fact that it's an eating disorder outright. Now, that said, as I've talked about before, a lot of people in gym culture, especially girls that get into bodybuilding, with them, it's almost 100% clip. A history of eating disorders is very, very common. And even young men now in this scene, I've talked about a lot of the people in the industry that even indirectly push this type of stuff. It happens. And her last point there about the dehydrated, muscly look, that's really in the context of being very cut and maybe even doing a show. That's how it goes, though, man. I mean, if you want to compete, or let alone even just be a really ripped up model, you have to be in total control of this. I mean, that's the difference that it makes at that low body fat level. Even one or two mistakes can throw off your entire look. That's just how it goes. It's simply the nature of the beast. So if that makes you uncomfortable, guess what? You're going to be better off looking like this guy than whatever guy you follow who always has a shredded six-pack. Oh, here we go. A young gym bro. 11 years no breaks to look mid. Then someone says, imagine body shaming others while looking like that. Oh, Uno reverse card. Okay, let's see what this guy looks like. His name is Kieran. Well, this is from 2022. He's pretty skinny, though. His head is the size of his entire chest cavity. There's not much new stuff. We have this one. It looks like he's not grown a whole lot either. The beauty of social media comment sections, you have all these guys that have, like, no results of their own, and they will just lambaste these dudes all day. It never ends. Just so much projection, so much insecurity, just all the time. He replies, no, at least I don't look out of shape after 11 years of training. Okay, I mean, we didn't see you shirtless at all. I don't think you are out of shape, but this guy's obviously got much more results than you do. Right? It's funny, these guys have this idea, well, after 11 years, I'm gonna look this given way. Maybe in your head. The rubber's gotta meet the road, though, my friend. And then this woman says, mid, he looks like a god. And then Kieran just keeps going after all the people that called him out. Well, speaking of the women, here's where it gets very interesting. We can scroll down. Rebecca says, not gonna lie, this is what we want. Underneath that, which has 78,000 likes, by the way, Mary says, bad. And then Law of Attraction official, oh, let's look at this page. Okay, it's gonna be some random dude, I'm sure. I don't know what woman that is in the profile picture, but this is undoubtedly a guy. Okay, a David Goggins book. Okay, definitely a dude. He says cut the shit, right? Because guys, like I talked about at the beginning, they cannot conceive that women are into dudes that have so-called higher body fat. Andrea says, facts. My husband is exactly like this, big and fit yet soft at the same time. And she puts some emojis. This is what women talk about when they use the dad bod. If you want to see my full breakdown of an X thread about the dad bod, check out the video in the top corner. But women have this idea of a dad bod being like an off-season bodybuilder a lot of the time. It's off base. That said, the general premise here makes sense because women like a dude who is clearly built and can protect them, and he lifts heavy, and he can pick them up easily, all this other stuff that they fantasize about when they read their novels and whatever. He's that, but he's not so obsessed with the gym like the previous woman said. He's obsessed with being dry and really vascular, that type of stuff. So that's the so-called balance that a lot of women, general women, on the bell curve, most of them, are going to look for. Of course, another guy says Rebecca is lying. Then Baby Beluga says, Law of Attraction official, respectfully, as a woman, I don't know a single other woman who would actively choose a bodybuilder over a man who looks like this. It's okay to admit your bodybuilding for other men's approval. That really upsets the guys. And not for the women you are trying to be with. That's a very good point. I've tried to tell you guys before, man. I mean, The amount of women that are really attracted to bodybuilders, we're talking like stage level, let alone very, very high levels of muscle mass, especially if those are happening at the same time, it's a pretty small percentage of women. They definitely exist, and even some so-called normal-looking women are into that, but usually it's going to be women that are heavily into the gyms themselves, oftentimes the women who are going to be on steroids. And you think about the general audience of bodybuilding, you have a panel of judges, most of whom are going to be men. You have an audience, which is a lot of other gym bros. There's going to be some women here and there, but yeah, it really is for the approval of other men. That doesn't mean it's automatically gay.
I am straight! I'm not gay!
She's not wrong. Deep Sook, whatever, says, how did this become about what women want? It's based off of the first comment, a woman saying she wants that and other women agreed. Let me guess, this is a young guy? Of course. Then someone replies to Rebecca, so you speak for all women? If so, I speak for all men. Make me a sandwich. Okay, let's look at Blaze Jam's profile. Christian, owner-operator, Mojo, Army SSG, Airborne, Masters in Physiology and Biochemistry. Oh, you should make some science-based content, bro. We have another woman who agrees with Rebecca, gives her a handshake emoji. Law of Attraction, the David Goggins cell is back. Lie to yourself all you want, you're still delusional. Okay, man, right. Women come on here and publicly like this and comment and say, I like how he looks, you're delusional. The way you guys cope is just endless. Then she replies to him, right, deaf lying to myself about what my personal preferences are. Yeah, exactly. This is so vintage. Some of you guys are just truly painful. Like, you give these women endless fodder to make fun of men with, then you complain when they make fun of men. Then this guy, Brian Eng, says, I don't bodybuild for anyone else's approval other than my own. I agree though, as my girlfriend has stated numerous times, she wouldn't care one way or the other if I was muscular or not. I don't know if she would totally not care, but I get the general premise. But just know we don't do this to get girls, at least not the guys that take it seriously. We do it because we've been insecure in our bodies, just like everyone else has. Interesting, he actually admits, yeah, you can see him on stage, you can see, yeah, he's a big dude. I can appreciate this guy bringing up the insecurity component. Then Baby Beluga says, and I think that's an awesome viewpoint to have. I'm all for doing things just because you genuinely enjoy it. But speaking from my experience with the few bodybuilders I've met in person, and definitely from the person who accused women of lying and warped perspective, it seems not 100% of the reason for everyone across the board. Sure, many do it for the external validation, even if the so-called good ones do not. But seriously, I am not against this sport. It's not a sport, but everyone says that. As a personal project and something that you are striving to work towards for your own accomplishments. Alright, so that was a nice little exchange. And then someone says, you don't speak for all women, Rebecca. Cry laughing. Plenty of women, including mine, prefer a healthier body. Okay, so now we have a guy speaking on behalf of women, and it's this dude, by the waterfall. Now Courtney says, ugh yes. When guys ask what my ideal body type, I never know how to describe it, but I feel like strong but soft is the way to go. Kermit the Frog says, in the real world, bro is jacked AF. Social media la la land will make you believe otherwise. And of course, some guy says, stop telling yourself lies. Let's click on his profile. Oh, would you look at that? JP Fitness Inspo says 100% false. I've been in the gym for 6 months and on a calorie deficit for 2 weeks and look objectively better than this dude. Strong words, my boy, we're gonna see. This is called bad dieting, not false standards. If you think this is an example of social media creating unrealistic images, you're really just coping and not having the discipline to eat and exercise right. Plain and simple, dieting works, exercise works. Then someone underneath that says, at JP, you don't look better at all, sorry. Well, let's see, JP. Do you think he looks better, whatever that means to you, than the OP that we saw? This woman says, FYI, this is the ideal body type for the female gaze. Graveyard Girl says negative. Another woman says yes. Another woman says no. Another woman says it just is. Big and strong. A little meat so he doesn't appear too vain. Chef's kiss. That is the highest liked reply. Another woman says, yep. Then another woman says, for me personally, toned bodies sometimes feel too much. Hear that? But this type of body seems healthy and comfortable. They seem warm and good at giving cuddles. I've talked about this in even a recent Instagram reel, guys. I said how, if you're obsessed with the gym, it's probably going to interfere with your dating life to some extent. And all these young guys who've never dated are like, no, that's not gonna happen, bro. I'm gonna find my anime trad wife who just cooks my food and goes to the gym with me every day. Michael says, bro looks natural and fit. Our idea of fitness has been distorted by filters, lighting, and pics of dehydrated dudes. Underneath that, a guy says no. Another guy says not really. Then Jesse says, bro, he's just like 20% body fat, he definitely has muscle mass. A simple caloric deficit, and he'd look shredded in a year. Who gives a fuck about him being shredded besides you guys? You guys prove this point over and over and you can't even see it. Then Michael says, I agree he has muscles, but if he wanted to be shredded by now, he would be. Maybe, maybe not. Getting legitimately shredded is a very tough challenge. Most people will never be able to do it, but getting generally lean, probably. Oh boy, Andrew says, all perspective. If you went on a 3 to 4 month cut, you guys noticing a trend here? The women who comment just say, I like how he looks or I don't really, and they kind of leave it at that. Mostly positive. All the guys say, oh well, if he just went on a calorie deficit and if he just cut and if he just did this and did that to get shredded. Oh, you guys are hilarious. If you went on a 3 to 4 month cut, then carb loaded, found some good lighting, got a good pump, people would be throwing fake natty accusations at you. But then Creek Cat says, you're saying do this and do that, that's not perspective. Yeah, exactly. She's completely right. I don't think OP necessarily cares. Mr. Thurtha says, that's what real bodybuilding looks like, no steroids or counting calories. Oh, these are gonna be horrible. Nick says, nah, could be better without too much more effort, but this guy's solid. Trevor says, definitely not. That's what lifting moderately optimal. Oh, there we go. Optimal has made an appearance. And no diet looks like. Genetics obviously plays a role, but that is not bodybuilding. You do need to be on some type of diet to build that much muscle over time. It could be lax, but you still have to follow, at least higher protein to some extent. Gabe says this guy's not a bodybuilder. True. He would lose in every competition. You have all these Instagram and TikTok and YouTube so-called bodybuilders. They never actually compete because they're too scared, but they'll call themselves the name and use the label all the time. Bunch of cowards. Mr. Yellow says, real bodybuilding requires counting calories. Bodybuilding is an art and a science, not just going to the gym and doing shenanigans. The idea that this guy is just sort of playing around in the gym, I don't believe that. Well, on that note, let's look at the rest of his profile. He says here it took 11 years to achieve this physique, and you can see he's showing off his little gut. And here we go. He says, yes, because my physique doesn't dictate my life the same way it did when I was 21. Now we can see pictures of him whenever he is leaner, right? We see the chest split, he's got some arm veins, he's got some abs coming through. His arms look pretty damn big. Okay, here's him in the gym lifting. We got the short shorts on. Okay, so does this guy do OnlyFans? He's got a big following. He's got the ass kind of out. There's going to be a lot of thirsty comments, isn't there? Let them eat cake, the cheeks are cheeking. Does anyone know where I can buy a box? A box for that cake. This woman says, I love that you know your target audience. Someone says, looking gorgeous. Oh yeah, the comments are losing their minds. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he seems to post a lot of shirtless stuff. Yeah, he might do OF. Okay, here's one in the pool. He says, forget the swim trunks. He's got on the really short shorts again. This has 211,000 shares and 411,000 likes. His bio, fitness made simple and effective for you. Work with me, exclusive content. Uh-oh. I think we know what we're gonna see. Given the size of this guy's page, he may be one of the few men who makes good money from OnlyFans. Okay, so most of his subscribers here are probably gay men. Alright, Austin, let's see these prices. Usually it is $14.99 a month. There's currently a deal. It's only $9 for 28 days. Or you can do a subscription bundle and see this guy's ass at discounted rates. But this has been it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to share this with those that need to see it. Check out Geology in the links down below. Check out my workout programs and my nutrition guide. Stop wasting your precious time in the gym. If you want to get in direct contact with me, the best way to do so is on Patreon, or schedule a consultation, or fill out the coaching questionnaire if you want to work one-on-one in full detail with me. And I will catch you guys next time.